Hello all and welcome to Astro Wheel of Fortune. So today I'm doing a collab. This collab is on blessings and I am doing it with SayaLoveTarot. I will have her channel or the video that is a part of this collaboration link down below in the description box and the comments, so go check out her video as well. But we're focusing on the blessings that are coming in the next while. Now we decided to break it down into two themes, so I'm doing the career blessings that are coming in, and she is going to be focusing on the love blessings that are going to be coming in. So make sure to check out her channel and stick around. If you are here from Saya's channel, welcome. Thank you so much for looking at this reading. We have 5 piles here, so I'm doing pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, pile 4, and pile 5. If you want to pause the video for a quick second to meditate, or if you need a little bit more time, do that now, and I'm going to move on and start. So we're going to start with pile number 1. So pile number 1, let's see what is the career blessing that is coming in for you. So we've got Lizard Spirit, dream the world into being. Warrior, strength, skill, discipline, and toughness of will. Heroism, stoicism, and self-sacrifice in conquering the ego. We've also got 7th house of partnerships, one-to-one relationships, ruled by Libra. We've also got the 10 of swords in reverse, 3 of cups upright, and we've also got the truth and get creative. So I also have, I forgot to mention in the intro, I also have another tarot deck here that I might use to clarify these messages a little bit more. I'll be pulling some cards from that as well, potentially. We'll see how it goes. So I'm definitely getting some sort of shedding of an old way of thinking, or an old way of seeing your career. You're seeing your career in a brand new way with the truth card being here. I feel like you're seeing it. See the way we've got, there's 2 paths, and we see that there's a lie path and a truth path. If you look at this card, it has 2 paths, and one is more of a lie and the other one is more of a truth. I'm seeing that you're shedding a certain way of thinking, the way that you thought your career had to go. You're realizing that your career doesn't have to go a certain way that you used to maybe think it had to go. Like maybe there was an old, outdated way of thinking, or a self-limiting belief that you had that made you feel like you had to. I feel like for a lot of you, the thing they used to think is that you had to achieve everything by yourself. That if you didn't achieve things by yourself, if you didn't achieve your goals by yourself without asking for help, that it didn't count, and it wasn't good enough. And I'm seeing that you are challenging that belief. So the blessing that's coming in, because you're shedding, I feel like it's because you're shedding something. The reason that this blessing, this career blessing is coming in is because you're shedding a certain way of thinking about your career. You're realizing and you're acknowledging that you are allowed to have people help you. You're allowed to have contacts that help you without expecting anything back. I'm also like, I feel like you're building a little bit of a community, or you're gathering connections, like in terms of networking. And how this blessing is going to come about is that it's actually going to be a person that you've networked with, or a person who you connected with, or a community that you connected with in order to help you with your career. That's how this blessing is going to come about. And you're going to realize that it's good to have people helping you in your career, that, doing it all by yourself doesn't necessarily create what working with others creates. And again, it doesn't mean that you're not allowed to work by yourself and own your own business or whatever. This is more so, I don't even feel like it's about asking for help. Maybe you used to not be very trusting of having networking connections. Maybe you've been betrayed by a networking connection before, or maybe networking connections just didn't work for you. But I'm seeing you really find yourself within a group of people of people or a community or like a networking group, and you're able to collect a lot of information from them. I'm seeing a lot of resilience from you, but it's because you're ending something. Like your spirit guides and the universe are kind of like rewarding you for ending a certain cycle in your career, or ending a certain way of thinking. I feel for a lot of you, if you are looking for somebody to partner up in something with, I think you're going to be finding a partner to partner up with. That is something that's coming through as well. I'm seeing a lot of collaboration here for this pile. That is the big blessing that is really coming through. I would say collaboration and becoming more creative through collaboration, because you're being challenged by the people, and not challenged in the kind of like, oh, they're making me uncomfortable kind of way. You're being challenged to do better and to step out of your comfort zone, which is actually really helping you find the more authentic version of yourself. It's like you used to want to just win for the sake of winning in your career, but you're realizing that it's almost like you're turning your career into a bit of a social situation. So maybe you're actually finding it really fun to connect with people who think the same way as you. If you are in a job where you have loads of coworkers, maybe you always avoided being around them or connecting or making friends with people in your job. But the more you open yourself up to people, the more you're realizing that there's a lot to be said for networking and connecting with others and socializing. I'm seeing that's another blessing. So I feel like you're going to get to socialize a lot more in your career. You're going to get to socialize with people that are very like-minded, but also they're like-minded, but they also challenge you to do better and be more creative and show yourself a little bit more authentically and be more authentic. Maybe this is something pertaining to you ending a job and going into another job where you are working with more like-minded people. That I feel like that's a message for some of you. Maybe in the past you've struggled to find like-minded people in your job situations. Let's see what else. So for pile one's career, yeah, there's something ending here. Look at that 10 of swords coming out again. There's something ending in your career. That's what I'm picking up on. Like an ending that is almost like a blessing in disguise. So maybe you're being forced to leave a job. Maybe you're not even forced by like the company or the place of work, but maybe you feel energetically forced to leave something behind. You're feeling energetically forced to go in a different route and go towards something that is more of a truth, like your truth rather than your lie. Maybe you've been following a certain career path that just definitely wasn't for you, and for some of you I feel like you are being pushed to become more creative in your career. I feel like and I'm just noticing because the way these cards came out, this card has lie and truth, right? And the truth is pointing towards get creative. So to me, what's coming through is that you are meant to have a much more creative career, and you're meant to work with people who are like other creatives. You're meant to connect with other creatives. And maybe for a long time you thought that wasn't for you and you went against it. But you're finally starting to realize, and it's putting your mind at ease, that you're not meant to, like I'm seeing, you're not meant to work so hard for in your career. You're meant to have more fun than you realize in your career. And I think that's the blessing coming in. Being more creative, being more fun, being a lot more social, finding people that think the same way as you do. And it's the more creative you get, the more you follow a creative call, the more you are going to feel in your element. Because I feel like right now you're the shadow side of the warrior. It says here, trading ethical principles for victory at any cost, indifference to suffering inflicted on others. Now, I'm not thinking that you're like heartless or ruthless or something like that, but trading ethical principles for victory, I'm feeling like you're doing a job that maybe you don't fully agree with, a job that probably doesn't care about, even if, okay, you either just left this type of job where, there was a lot of breach of people's boundaries. There was a lot of breach of people's, like, there was no rest. You constantly felt like you were fighting for your job. You were constantly fighting for something, or maybe the work environment in general was very toxic, or you're being pushed to leave it. And I feel like your spirit guides are letting you know, look, the blessing of creativity, collaboration, socializing is coming. Maybe you were worried about losing this job because you thought that a career or a job has to be hard. Maybe that is something that you perceive maybe it's a self-limiting belief. Maybe it's just something that is at the back of your mind, even though consciously you realize your job shouldn't be hard, that you want to be a creative. Let's say you are a musician and you are in a job that has nothing to do with music, but it's a practical job, and you've been taught that your musician that being a musician and your musical side, they're not realistic modes of earning money. They're not realistic modes of creating a career. And even though consciously you're starting to realize, no, actually I can make money from that, I can find a way of being creative and turning it into a career, at the back of your mind that self-limiting belief might still be there. So I feel like your spirit guides are just confirming, and maybe some of you have been already intuitively feeling this. I think you're going to find yourself doing a lot more creative work soon, or you're going to get more opportunities to be creative in your career. And then I also see another blessing of collaboration, or meeting people that are really like-minded through this creative pursuit. I feel like a lot of creatives pick this spell. I feel like, if you're an artist or a musician, or even if you want to get into a creative type of business, I feel like your spirit guides really want to confirm to you that you should pursue your creative passion, and you should mingle and connect with people that are doing what you want to do creatively. Don't be afraid to connect with people, ask questions, or find communities of similar creatives, or just creatives in general in your area who you can connect with and exchange like tips and tricks with as well. That's what I'm getting. But you're shedding like an old version of yourself. That's definitely, if you're like currently working in a job that you don't have any real investment in, I'm seeing that you're shedding that very soon. That is something that's coming through. So that's the blessings that I got for you for your career. Don't forget to check out SayaLoveTarot's reading on the blessings that have to do with love. And I'm going to move on. So let's move on to our pile number 2. So pile number 2, what career blessings are coming in for you? Let's find out. So first of all, we've got Sandpiper Spirit, be playful. We've also got Alchemist, transformation of base motives and goals into golden wisdom. We've also got Venus. This is really nice energy. And we've also got different approach. Definitely with the Alchemist, I'm seeing you okay, I'll get into it in a bit. I just want to take out the tarot as well. We've got 5 of Cups in reverse. Okay, I'm seeing a theme here. We've got the Moon card in reverse, and we've got the Wheel of Fortune. I feel like this is a very straightforward reading. And I also feel with the 2, pile number 2, and there's 22 on this card as well, I'm just noticing. 22, maybe you are seeing a lot of 2s. That could be something that is a confirmation. If that's something that does resonate, maybe that's a confirmation for you as well. I'm also getting the number 4. So 2s, a lot of 2s and a lot of 4s are coming through here. Because we've got the 22 and we've got the 4, and the 22 would also add up to a 4, but 22 is also a master number. So 2, 22, 222, 4, 44, 444 could be angel numbers that are popping up for you as well. So what I'm getting here, also, I do have a tarot deck that I might use for clarifications. I might live shuffle as well, but kind of going pile by pile to see if it's necessary. So first of all, what I'm seeing is that you are somebody who can turn anything into gold. That's the best way that I'm seeing this right now. And I feel like the blessing that's coming in for you is that you're going to have an opportunity to completely turn your situation around. So whatever situation you're in right now, even if you're making slight progress, even I feel like for most of you, you are making progress, but it feels like you are not making huge leaps or huge steps. And what I'm getting is what we all kind of like probably hate to hear is that the reason that you're not making huge leaps right now is because of divine timing, and because the timing is really important with you. Because I always think of timing when the Wheel of Fortune pops up. So I feel like this blessing of a bigger leap or I feel like a lot of people in this pile have been achieving. You've been making the best of like bad situations or mediocre situations. For example, let's say we are currently, when I'm recording this reading, maybe we're not anymore when you're watching this, who knows. But most of the world is in lockdowns. Most of the world is kind of stifled due to COVID, and a lot of people have been put in not so great situations, especially career-wise. I feel a lot of you in this pile have been utilizing either if you had free time to do something, or you've been utilizing, and again, I'm not saying that everyone, if there's been free time that you have to immediately utilize it for your career, because that's not what life is about. Career is one part of life, but there's also other things to be done in life. So I'm not trying to say like, oh, if you're not utilizing your free time to help your career, like that's not what I'm trying to say. But I feel like this pile specifically either has been utilizing their time very well. I feel like time management is coming through, utilizing your time, utilizing your resources. And if you've been making the best out of the worst, mediocre, it'll vary for everyone, but you've been making progress. It hasn't been huge progress. That's what I'm picking up on. It hasn't been progress that felt, like overnight success. It hasn't been progress that really catapulted you into something super successful, rich, famous, whatever. But I feel like it's been steady. That's the main thing that I'm getting here. It's been steady, and you've been working hard, and you've been putting in the work. Now, the one thing that I see with the blessings that are coming here, with the different approach and the Venus card and the be playful energy, I think you're going to be able to transform your career soon through doing something that feels playful, fun, and exciting rather than a chore. So maybe parts of your career or parts of your job that feel like a chore, you're going to be able to either eliminate or find a way of doing it in a more playful way. I'm also seeing with the Venus, I always get the energy of luxury. I always get the energy of being able to afford more expensive things. Now, for a lot of you, I feel like the blessing is that you'll be able to afford more expensive equipment, because I'm looking at this card and she has all these funnels and she has all these jars and stuff like that. I'm just kind of thinking of equipment for some reason with you. So maybe some of you record videos, maybe some of you, let's say you're like you're somebody who likes to produce music, or you like to create music, or maybe you're an artist. I'm seeing you being able to afford like a piece of equipment or something that you can use for your career that you've been really wanting to buy for yourself, or you'll be able to afford a higher quality of for example, if you're a digital artist, maybe you're able to afford a higher quality of programs that you use for, your digital art. Or maybe you're going to be able to just afford a higher level of equipment or something that aids you in your career. That is really standing out as a blessing for me here. Now, the playfulness and kind of relaxed energy with this pile is really standing out to me as well. I feel like you are going to feel pretty lucky very soon with your career. And again, I feel like the lucky energy is coming through because of this divine timing. It feels like you are going to find that there's a lot of divine timing at play, that the blessings that are coming into your life, for example, let's say this piece of equipment that is of a higher standard, it's coming into your life exactly at the right time, when you know how to use it, when you know how to utilize it, when you know where to put it. Maybe it's like if you got it a month ago, you wouldn't even had space to put it somewhere because, for whatever reason. Or maybe if you got it 3 months ago, maybe you wouldn't have even really known what to do with it. You maybe wouldn't have had a really good idea about how to utilize it. So there's something about divine timing. You needed to almost come to a certain level of skill and a certain level of chill. I feel like maybe you used to take your job or career in general a little bit too seriously. And your spirit guides are kind of letting me know, like, you needed to almost find yourself in a bit more pacifist energy before all these blessings could start coming in. Because if you're on a very high energy, whether it's more anxious energy or excited energy, it's very easy to become agitated when you're like this high level of energy already. I feel like your spirit guides wanted you to come down to this grounded energy where you're grounded in reality, where you're grounded in your own peace, so that when the blessings came in, they didn't overwhelm you, but they aided you. So I feel like there's something that is relating to your energy levels and maybe how anxious you can become. Maybe you've been very anxious in the past, and that's why you had to wait for this grounding, for you to be able to ground yourself, so that the blessings didn't overwhelm you and almost passed you by. Because a lot of the time that can happen. Something that is a blessing could come your way, but if you are not grounded enough to grasp it, it can, take you with it, spin you around and spit you back out, and it won't feel like a blessing at all. So I feel like everything is happening in divine timing because you are going to be ready for it. I feel like you're not quite ready for it yet, but I'm kind of feeling like maybe in the next 2 to 3 months, especially, or actually I would say 2 to 4 months, because 2 and 4 are really standing out for me. So 2 to 4 months is when this blessing is coming in, like a good piece of equipment, or you're able to afford something to, maybe you've been wanting to create a website for your business, and you'll be able to afford to create a really good website for yourself. But you're alchemizing a lot of your more negative or mediocre energies into something a little bit more elevated. I'm seeing a lot more professionalism in your career as well. So especially for those of you that have a business or are looking to start like a side hustle or a business, I'm seeing the level of professionalism in your business or side hustle really going up, like really shooting up in the next 2 to 4 months. Maybe your overall brand is really going to expand. It's really going to look a lot more polished, a lot more sharp. But yeah, that's something that's really coming through. Let's just pull 1 or 2 tarot cards just to get an idea. If there's anything else, or do they want to highlight anything else to me? Yeah, if this blessing came in any sooner, you would miss it. You would have missed it, or you would have gotten too overwhelmed by it. So the main thing with your blessings and the way that your blessings come in, your blessings, I'm seeing that, like, I'm almost getting this, I feel like my legs and my feet are really heavy right now and they're being pulled to the ground. So I feel like for most of you in this pile, your best blessings come in when you are the most grounded. So if you want your blessings to come in quicker or sooner, your spirit guides are advising you to ground yourself. I'm almost seeing this person as like, this person needs to ground themselves. They're kind of sitting in almost in meditative state, and that's when the opportunities and the blessings come in. Like, I know that's not the traditional 4 of Cups explanation, but I'm seeing that your spirit guides are like, the more grounded, the more and I feel like King of Swords is quite a grounded energy. King of Swords is in control of their own, like, King of Swords energy to me is someone who's in control of their own thoughts and their anxieties as well. So I feel like the grounding is really important for you to claim these blessings. So maybe the advice for you to be able to claim these blessings quicker or pull them closer to you quicker is to focus on grounding yourself and to looking after your overthinking patterns and making sure that they're not overwhelming you. But I'm seeing really good blessings of being able to afford really good good things for your career and to put back and invest into your career. And I'm also seeing that kind of level of professionalism. Things are going to look a lot more polished for you in your career very soon. And that ability to feel like things are a little bit more playful. Not everything is so serious. While still remaining quite serious. So it's interesting. Really, really nice reading. I really enjoyed doing this one, pile number 2. So if you like this reading, do like, subscribe, and comment. I'd love to hear your feedback, how this resonated. Don't forget to check out SayaLoveTarot's video as well on the love blessings if that's something that you're interested in. I'll link the reading down below, and I'm going to move on to pile 3. Pile 3 for your career blessings. What can you expect for your career blessings? Let's have a look. So we've got Spider Spirit, make your dreams real. We've also got Poet. I'm really getting because to me, Spider Spirit, like the weaving of the web, and the Poet, like some of you could be writers for sure. Especially, I don't know why spiders always make me think of writers as well, or writing a story that's like really complex. So a lot of you could be writers, or maybe that is something that you're considering a career in. Okay, let's see what else we've got. We've got Uranus, which is genius here on this card, and you got a lot of tarot cards. I do have a tarot deck here to clarify, but maybe we won't need them because you got more tarot cards than the rest of the group. We've got the 5 of Pentacles. Okay, I think I'm getting a certain theme here. We've got, 9 of Wands in reverse, and we've got the Queen of Wands. Definitely, again, another pile of creative people here for sure. If you were attracted to pile number 1, I would advise to watch pile number 1 as well. If you weren't attracted to it, forget it. I only ever say, only if you were also attracted to it. I think this is a creative pile for sure. And we've got finance opportunity. Okay, finance opportunity. Number 9 could be important in this pile. Number 9 could be important. We've got 9, 1 and 8 is 9, and we've got the 9 of Wands. So 999 or 999 could be 9 also signifies some sort of ending. It signifies coming to conclusions. For this pile, I'm definitely seeing that you are a pile of creative, specifically if you're a creative writer or somebody who writes poetry. A creative writer, a journalist, anything like that. I feel like you're maybe going through a creative block. Even if you're not a writer, you're just a creative person, I feel like there could be a creative block energy right now. And what the blessing that we're trying to focus on here is that you are going to be coming out of a creative block, and you're going to be coming into a really good and original idea. I'm seeing some sort of really good original idea. It almost feels like divinely guided. You're meant to stumble upon, whether it's in your own mind or something that inspires you, either to write something or to make a piece of art, or to create something in a very creative way that is a really good financial opportunity. Like, this could literally be a book that you write. This could be a piece that you put into, if you're a journalist, maybe it's someone publishes a piece that really puts you on the spot, puts you on the map, as you would say. But there's something very original, or maybe you already have a very original idea that you're holding on to, and you're almost too worried that you're going to be judged for it, or you're going to be, because we've got this make your dreams real. Maybe you already have some sort of idea, but you keep worrying that you're going to get judged by it. And in reality, this idea that you have is like one of the biggest career blessings that you could claim right now. And you're maybe not even recognizing it as a blessing right now. Another thing that I'm seeing is that you might get the finances or some sort of unexpected windfall as well outside of your career. That's something that I'm seeing as well for this pile. You might end up getting some sort of financial help, a grant to, maybe if you're like an artist or a writer, maybe you applied for a certain grant, or maybe you're a business and you could be an entrepreneur who applied for a business grant and you're going to get it. if you applied for any grant specifically or any financial help from the government or from like an institution, I'm seeing that coming through for you. That is something that is showing up here. I feel like you're worried that there's something about you worrying about your finances for pile number 3. I feel like your creative energy is being blocked by your worry of finances. And again, I'm not judging you. This is something that I actually go through myself. A lot of the time I block myself by worrying about money. So, I totally feel you, pile 3. I really resonate with your reading. But I feel like your spirit guides are really wanting you to pursue some sort of original idea that you had. If you are someone who is a creative, maybe you want to, this could be like, maybe you want to write a graphic novel. Maybe you want to do a series of paintings or a series of photographs. Maybe you have an idea for a short movie or something like that. I feel like there's some sort of idea that you're either holding on to or you're about to come across or be inspired to do, that your spirit guides are like, this is your divinely guided idea that you're meant to take and run with it, and it's meant to help you release a certain amount of creative block. But you seem to be a little bit afraid. There could be a fear of failure that's happening. And again, with the blessing coming in, I feel like the blessing is a fall away of the fear of failure. I feel like the blessing that is coming in for you in terms of career is that you're going to be able to heal that fear of failure. That fear of being, I feel like some of you could even be worried about being too weird. So like, let's say if you wrote a book or you created a series of paintings or like whatever it is, graphic novel, painting, drawing, illustration, music, you're worried that you're too weird and too unconventional. With the Uranus card here, you feel like you wouldn't be accepted. There is something about you being maybe the people that you're showing your work to are not understanding what you're trying to, like the point you're trying to put across, but you're showing it to maybe like an inner circle that doesn't understand. Whereas if you maybe published it, it's available to a bigger scope of people, and therefore there's more potential for it to get recognized. And all of a sudden a weird idea turns into an original idea that nobody else thought of. You're not weird, you're unique. That's what I keep getting. And it's like your blessing almost feels like a blessing in disguise, or a blessing that you don't see in yourself right now. It's almost like there's no blessing coming in, although there is a blessing coming in. Like, I know it's kind of almost contradictory. I'm contradicting myself almost, but there's no blessing coming in because you are the blessing. Your ideas are very original. Let's say it is a book. Let's say you're writing a book and you keep writing it and you keep getting into this mental block or this creative block because you keep looking at it and going, no, it's too weird. Like no one's going to get it. Everyone's going to think I'm a weirdo for writing this or for coming up with this. And you keep like doubting yourself. Maybe when you show this to other people, maybe like, let's say you show it to like your friends and they don't get it. But it's because maybe they don't have similar interests to you, or they don't have similar experiences to you. Whereas if you were to show it to a broader range of people, you'd find people that actually really resonate with your work. Maybe you're literally writing poetry and maybe you have literally so much poetry out there that you've written and you've never shown it to anyone because you feel like nobody could possibly ever relate to it because it's so weird and unconventional. But in reality, it's something very unique, and there's like a blessing within this unique energy here, that your spirit guides are like, you're literally hiding your own blessing from yourself in kind of like a roundabout, convoluted way. I think there's a fear of being judged by people. But at the same time, I feel like you're a very unique type of person that also embraces their uniqueness, but you don't want to be too vulnerable, because the spider makes me think of like the protective, the web is like to catch anything, or like any intruders get caught in the web. So it's like you don't want anyone to intrude on your weirdness, in inverted commas, you know? Like, what does weird even mean? You know, weird, one person could find something weird that another person would find completely normal. So just keep that in mind as well. You are not too weird. You are unique, and everyone's unique, because I also think of like the spider webs. To me, like, probably every spider web is unique and done, you know, every spider has a different way of doing their webs. So it's kind of like you have your own story to tell. There's something about like either an idea that you have, or maybe some of you have even been considering of like writing a book or creating something inspired by your own life, or inspired by your experiences, but then you're like, oh, but who would ever want to like watch this, or who would ever want to look at this? A lot of people. Let's have a look at your let's see if there's anything else the tarot cards want to tell us about your blessings. Yeah, I feel like there's something maybe in the past you had an idea that you just completely scrapped, or maybe this is something you used to love doing as a child. So maybe you were a really avid writer as a child, or you were a painter as a child, or maybe you created music as a child, or something you really wanted to do as a child is now re-emerging and is wanting to show itself, and it's actually a blessing. Maybe you want to write about your childhood, maybe you want to create artwork about your childhood. Wow, childhood is really coming through here. But you could have a lot of success with this, and it's like you don't realize how much success is ahead of you if you follow the calling of being different and allowing your creativity shine and showing people who you are. I feel for a lot of you, maybe you're inspired by your childhood, whether it was a happy childhood or not a happy childhood. You're just inspired by the events, but you're not very sure if people would relate. You're not very sure if people would connect to it. And your spirit guides are like, yes, a lot of people would connect to it. You should pursue this. But there's a lot of creativity here. Like you do, pile 3, you have the it factor for whatever it is you're trying to do. And like your spirit guides are basically saying that it factor is going to become more and more aware with you, or more and more aware to more and more. You're going to become more and more aware of that it factor. Sorry, my head is just completely gone. You're going to become more and more aware of that it factor the longer you go on, but you really need to tap into your own originality rather than hiding away from it, and not believing that you are capable. You know, maybe you look at writers that created universes, you look at writers that created, you know, all these worlds, like, you know, maybe you're thinking and you're like, I could never do that, but you could. You know, or maybe you're looking at artists that created amazing pieces of art and you're like, I could never do that, but you could. You have to start somewhere though. That's what I'm getting. So that's the reading that I got for you, pile number 3. Really interesting. I really enjoyed doing your reading. If you liked it, do like, subscribe, and comment with your feedback. I'd love to hear what you think. And I'm going to move on. Don't forget to check out SayaLoveTarot's reading on the blessings that are to come in your love life as well, if that is something you're interested in. But I'm going to move on to pile number 4. So pile number 4, let's see what blessings are coming into your life to do with career. So we've got Wolf Spirit, turn knowledge into wisdom. We've got Vampire, makes you aware that someone or something is draining your life force. We've got Wolf, Vampire, very kind of mystical energy here. We've got South Node, life's debts. We've also got the King of Cups, 3 of Swords, and we've also got the 4 of Wands in reverse. And then Nurture. Number 6 is coming through. So 6 could be an important number, a life path number. Okay, let's see. Some of you could be really stuck in a south node kind of energy. South node is usually where we are comfortable. It's our comfort zone. It's where we feel at home. If I was talking about it the way that I see the South Node to me talks about past lives. It talks to me a past life and life energy where we are comfortable. We know how it goes. I feel like there's something that's going to challenge you soon to step out of your comfort zone. That is the blessing that's coming into your life. I think you're going to be challenged to step out of your comfort zone because I feel like your comfort zone at this point is sucking your life force, like the way with the vampire here. There's something here about the blessing that's actually coming in is that you're going to be able to break out of a certain comfort zone. You're going to be able to leave something behind. For some of you, I feel like maybe your career or your job is even kind of intertwined with your place of where you live. So for some of you, you might be able to move in somewhere else, move somewhere. Maybe the reason that you're maybe some of you are stuck in limbo because you need to move in terms of like your home. You need to move because maybe you're not able to live where you live anymore. Number 4 and number 6 keep coming up for me. There's something to do with stability. Maybe you have become really accustomed to living in a certain environment, even though or living somewhere or working somewhere, even though the work environment or the living environment is too toxic. I feel like a lot of you are getting the blessing of knowledge. You're gonna get a lot of and this knowledge doesn't really, with the King of Cups here, I feel like this knowledge is there's something very because we've got the King of Cups and we've got nurture, it makes me think of like father energy. It makes me think of really nurturing father energy. I feel like you have, specifically this pile, I feel like you're being guided by like a spirit guide who could be either like a father figure or a grandfather figure who is really looking after your career for you or is like protecting you in your career, but also protecting you in terms of your living situation. I think your spirit guides, first of all, they want you to know that you're protected. So maybe if you're worried about moving on from a job where maybe you feel comfortable because, you know, it's what you know and you know that you're going to continue getting a salary there. It's how you are, it's what you're used to. Your spirit guides are wanting you to know that they're looking after you. They're there for you in order, like if you wanted to move, which I think you should, like I wouldn't actually, tarot cards will never tell you what you should and shouldn't do, but I feel like there's something about you moving jobs or moving, even a living situation is coming through. For some of you, this is literally moving a job. For some of you, maybe there's a living situation involved, and you know, maybe if you move with your living situation, you also have to move your job. But I feel like your spirit guides want you to know that you're protected and you're okay. Some of you might have to move because of a breakup. That's something that's coming through, and maybe you're worried about your financial situation. Your spirit guides want you to know that you're protected. There's a lot of kind of like small messages coming through for this pile. I think the blessings for you is that you are being pushed outside of your comfort zone. So whether you know, whatever the scenario that resonates with you, you're being pushed out of your comfort zone, and soon you're going to start seeing yourself finding new knowledge or new information that you wouldn't have found in the old place of work or an old way of being. I feel like this pile, you're really in a transformative period. You're really in a period of transformation, a period of change. And not everything makes sense for you right now. That's what I'm getting. And I feel like your spirit guides want you to know that there's a reason that things are a little bit confusing right now. The reason is because you're being pushed out of your comfort zone. It's kind of like, I'm thinking with the nurture card, it's kind of like when the baby birds get pushed out of the nest by the parent bird. it's like they get pushed out of the nest, but they know that they're gonna fly. They know that they're not gonna like fall. So there's something about you being pushed out of your nest. Maybe some of you are being literally pushed out of your family home and you're needing to find a new place to live and a job to support yourself. And I'm seeing that, I do see for a lot of you, this is not an easy situation. So I'm really sorry if you're going through something very difficult right now, but I feel like your spirit guides really want you to know you're protected. There's a whole team of spirit guides. Specifically, I'm feeling kind of like a grandfatherly energy or a fatherly energy that is really looking after you, literally watching your every move and making sure that you are protected in terms of a living situation or switching jobs. Interesting. Your blessing is that you're super protected, even if it feels like your career or like your financial situation is crumbling around you right now. Or if you're feeling some sort of discomfort or toxicity in your current place of work, there might be discord between... there might be a little bit of a toxicity between like coworkers or something like that. I'm seeing that you're being protected. Let's see what else. I'm seeing that soon you're going to have to make a choice. There's something about making a choice of, do I stay or do I leave? In terms of a career move. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of you could be going through a period of anxiety and depression, and I feel like your spirit guides really want you to know, like, especially when it comes to your career, and your spirit guides really want you to know that you are protected and you are looked after. For some of you, this is only for some of you. I don't think this is for all of you. I feel like you're overthinking leaving a certain career. Like, if to only take this if it resonates. Some of you might be overthinking leaving a job. Like, you need to leave. It's a toxic environment. It's not good for you, and yet you keep overthinking it. And I feel like for some of you, this is only, and I feel like it will resonate with whoever. Whoever this message is for. Your spirit guides have given you like multiple signs and multiple nudges to go, hey, it's time to leave this job. It's time to go towards something different now. It's stale, it's toxic, it's too much of a comfort zone for you. You need to be challenged more, and you're kind of ignoring them because you're overthinking it. But this is only for some of you who this will definitely, I feel like it will resonate with some of you for sure. For others of you, I feel like you're just confused because it's very hard to find an opportunity to leave. But I'm seeing that an opportunity is coming soon. I feel like you're going to be getting some sort of communication or some sort of news on potential to move, and your spirit guides want you to take it. I feel that's part of the blessing. There's going to be some sort of news or communication where you are going to be either offered a job or offered an interview, or there's going to be a communication maybe from somebody like a friend or something like that who tells you, hey, like, there's actually a job opening here. Your spirit guides want you, they're saying don't procrastinate and don't overthink about going for that opportunity, going for that job. Like, take it. Don't pass the opportunity. Maybe some of you are just the type of people to overthink quite a bit. That's something that is maybe something you're struggling with. You feel like you need a very sure way of moving forward. I feel like a lot of you in this pile are very mentally driven, so you need a very good logical explanation for everything. Maybe you struggle to follow your intuition, you struggle to follow your intuitive compass guidance. You're somebody who or even if you have really good intuition, you tend to block it with your mental energy, and it's always like, does it make sense? Is there a logical explanation for me to leave? Even if your intuitive side and your emotional side really want to leave a job, your logic will still come in and say, yeah, but like, maybe it's a terrible and toxic place to work, and emotionally I'm really drained, but at least the money's good, at least I'm safe here. So there's kind of like I feel like the blessing that's coming in is that you're going to be able to break that a little bit, and you're going to be able to follow the intuitive route rather than you're going to be able to heal with the Three of Swords coming up here twice. You're going to be able to heal a part of you that always wants to overthink and always wants I kind of feel like this pile is someone who would talk to their spirit guides and ask for a confirmation to leave, for example, a job, and your spirit guides would give you a confirmation and you'll go, okay, that was a confirmation for sure. I'm just to be safe, I'm going to ask for another confirmation. I feel like you're that type of that type of group. Yeah, I feel like you're not wanting to leave something. You're either not wanting to leave. For some of you, I feel like you're either not wanting to leave like a town or a city where you're living, and you know that there's not really many prospects for you there. For others of you, this is like a job that you feel drained by. Like, I feel like you're so drained by this job. But you are afraid to leave it because you feel like if you leave it, it's almost like instantly, no, there's no other job that I could possibly secure. But I feel like the blessing is that you're going to be able to challenge it. You're going to be able to step out of your comfort zone, and you're going to be able to follow your intuition a little bit more. I think the next blessing is basically you getting out of a toxic situation to do with a career, with your career or a job that you're in. Or maybe if you just left a toxic place, this could even be to do with a home situation. For some of you, I feel like you could have broken up with somebody as well. So there's multiple messages coming through with this pile. I would, if it is a situation of you breaking up with a partner, don't forget to look at SayaLoveTarot. Look at her reading for the love blessings that are coming in. But I feel like for a lot of you, this toxicity that you went through, I'm seeing that it's going to be healed, and there's going to be an opportunity to heal this toxicity and to heal a tendency to overthink or an overthinking nature that you were struggling with when it comes to your career. So that's the reading that I got for you. Very interesting, pile number 4. Let me know how that resonated. I do feel like career-wise you're being a little bit drained right now, so I hope you're okay. I hope you're grounding plenty. And I hope this, and I do think this is gonna heal for you soon. So, keep it up. So we're going to move on. Don't forget to look at SayaLoveTarot's reading as well for the love blessings. But we're going to move on to pile number 5. Let's see what career blessings are on their way to you. Let's see. Okay. So pile 5, Rabbit Spirit. Now is a lucky time. Very nice. We've got King, enlightened, benevolent leadership benefiting those in your charge. Okay. We've also got Chiron. And we've got Mercury retrograde. So then we also have in tarot, we have the Judgment card in reverse, 2 of Wands in reverse. We've got the High Priestess in reverse, and we've got the 8 of Swords. And for your last card, we've also got And then if needed, I'm going to also use another tarot deck to get some clarifications. But we're going to look into this first. Okay, let's see. Okay, so there's a lot going on for you, pile 5. I feel like right now you're going through a little bit of I feel like for this pile you tend to get almost deflated a lot with your career. I feel like you are always expecting a lot of yourself. That's first thing that I'm picking up on. You're always expecting a lot of yourself. With this King card, I just feel like there's almost this, with the excessive feelings of entitlement here in the shadow attribute, I feel like it's almost like you feel entitled to your own energy. There's almost like 2 sides of you. There's a side of you that it feels entitled to your own energy. I feel like you're really tired right now, pile number 5. And there's a bit of an entitlement from a version of you or a side of you from what you what you can actually perform, and how much rest you need and how much healing you need. I feel for a lot of you in pile 5, you really need a rest. You really need to take some time to heal. I think your spirit guides are really aware of how much work, like, you are a really hard worker, pile 5, but you're also somebody who tends to neglect the need for connecting with yourself, to connect back with your spirituality, to connect back with your spiritual, your higher self. You kind of tend to get lost in your career, get lost in the busyness of the job, whatever job you are doing. And I feel like your spirit guides are wanting you to scale back right now and connect to yourself again. So I think the blessing that's going to be coming in is the blessing of rest. That's what I'm getting here. The blessing of rest so that you can quiet your mind a little bit. A blessing of rest so that you can let go of... There's something about with the Mercury retrograde, you're always putting yourself in positions of like, you need to do better. You need to, I'm not even getting that specifically with Mercury retrograde, but there's something here about this pile that you have such high expectations on yourself, for sure, pile 5. And so before there's any other blessings, I think your spirit guides are giving you the blessing of rest and the blessing of being able to step away from the busyness of your job. So some of you might have a very busy job in general, and a job that demands a lot of you. Maybe you have a boss who demands a lot of you, and your spirit guides are like, okay, they need a break from their boss, from their job. So I'm seeing some sort of break, some sort of calm period before you're being brought back, and then you're being brought back to continue on. Even if it's just a short break, like, it doesn't have to be a long break, but it needs to be a mindful break. That's what I'm getting. And it's, if it's not a break that you're planning for in your career, maybe you are on a break right now and your spirit guides are saying like, look, this is one of your blessings right now. This is something that they really want you to utilize. If you're not happy getting this message as well, I would suggest you pick another pile. But I feel like this pile is very focused on stop planning things, stop. There's both of these cards make me think, now that they're in reverse, I feel like put your phone down, get off your emails. Like, maybe you're somebody who can never stop responding to emails. Maybe you're somebody who's on the job 24/7, even if you don't like to admit it, or even if you're out of office, you'll still check your emails or something like that. You're getting the blessing of organization. I feel like your spirit guides want you to get organized better with your career. Like, maybe, like, I find that with myself even for my personal readings. Like, sometimes even though I'm off the clock, technically I'll go in and I'll check my messages and I'll check my emails. So I relate with you, pile number 5, but it's just something that your spirit guides are saying, like, you're going to get the blessing of organization, especially with the Mercury retrograde and all this technology being in reverse, because 2 of Wands, specifically in this deck, the High Priestess and 2 of Wands, they have like electronics in their hands. So I feel like with the Mercury retrograde, maybe there's going to be like, if you work in a job where you're really reliant on systems or something like that, you might get a day where the systems are completely down or something like that, and it's going to give you an opportunity to go and organize yourself in some sort of other way. Organize yourself and get things under, and maybe have a little bit more of a slower paced week or something like that. For others of you, I feel like you're going to be gifted or blessed with an opportunity to step away from the screens. I feel like a lot of you need some time away from screens. Step away from social media, step away from emails. I feel like a lot of you are going to be, if that's not something that you have planned, you might be actually kind of forced into it. But stepping away from communication as well. I think that's the next blessing that's coming in for you, pile 5. That's just one of them. Now, I'm going to get into it a little bit more. Rest, stepping away, clearing your head. That's all coming through. Connecting back to yourself, connecting back to your higher self is going to be a blessing. This is almost like, even though this is a career blessing reading, they are wanting to talk about the blessing of connecting back to yourself, connecting to who you are, rather than constantly thinking about your career. So your next blessing in a way is, how can you feel more connected to who you are? How can you feel more connected to other sides of your life outside of your career? And I feel like that's something that your spirit guides are wanting you to consider, because again, I would be someone who's like that. I'd be worried about my career more than I'm worried about anything else. So it's kind of this push to see what else connects you to yourself. Is it your partnership? Is it your friendships? Is it your family? Is it your children if you have children? You're gonna be challenged, and not challenged in that kind of like difficult way, but you're going to be challenged by your spirit guides to connect to other things outside of your career and gain a new appreciation for things outside of your career. Because that's what's important right now. Even though, yes, your career is important, and it's important how you navigate your career, I feel like a lot of you know exactly where you want to go. You actually have some good plans in place, but you are often putting yourself under too much pressure. And another thing that I'm getting here is that some of you might be overdoing for your job. Like, you might be putting too much effort into, like, you might be doing extra work for your boss. Like, I'm hearing that thing of never do more work than your boss is doing. Never care about your job more than your boss cares about their job. So maybe some of you actually care about your job more than your boss, or, you know, a manager or something like that. And your spirit guides are like, you need to stop caring about your job more than your manager does. For a lot of you, it could be that maybe the blessing that's coming in and is a mindset of not worrying about career too much. I feel like you're gonna get a little bit more calm when it comes to career, and you're gonna start feeling a little bit more in control of your career. That's another blessing that I'm picking up on for you, Pile 5. But really, the big thing here is a blessing of stepping away and noticing other things. Maybe, you know, if there's a friend that you haven't seen in a really long time, I think your spirit guides want you to go and reach out to them and, you know, turn off your phone. Don't worry about your career. If there is, you know, family members that you want to see, if there is a partner that you maybe haven't spent mindful time with. And mindful is the key here. I feel like the key to when you are spending time with other people, are you still thinking about your job? Are you constantly talking about your job? Are you constantly talking about your career? That is also something that your spirit guides want. This is almost more of an advice pile, but I feel like the blessings that are coming in is the opportunities to do all of that. I feel like you are the pile that tends to lose yourself in your career, and it's because I feel like you're really passionate about what you do. You're probably really passionate about how you progress in your career, but at the same time, your spirit guides are kind of like, look, you need to set time aside where you realize that other things are also important in your life, you know, whether it's a sister or a brother, whether it's like, you know, whoever it is, whether it's like a person in your life, your partner, maybe it's like a grandmother or grandfather, whether it's a hobby of yours that has nothing to do with your career. How can you spend time outside of your career so that you feel fulfilled and healing can take place? I feel like there's a little bit of your career, your job is always on your mind, and I think the blessing that's coming in is that you're going to be able to switch off. So let's I'm going to pull some more tarot cards just to get an idea. So we've got the World card in reverse, and we've got the Wheel of Fortune. I like this energy because I feel like your spirit guides are letting you know that this pile, I feel like out of all piles, really knows what direction they want to go in. This pile really knows where they want to go, how they want to achieve things. I feel like you have a good plan. I feel like you are somebody who's in control with this King card. But at the same time, a lot of the time, what stops you from being in control is actually when you go into overload of thinking about your career. When you go into overload of worrying about career, when you go into overload of identifying, do you identify yourself with your career? Is that something that you feel like? Would you say, you know, if you are a lawyer, are you someone who almost goes, I am a lawyer before anything else, like before I am a mother or a father or a child, someone's child or someone's sister or someone's friend. It doesn't have to be a lawyer, obviously. It's whatever job you're doing. Do you almost tend to identify yourself by that job? Your spirit guides want you to remember that your career, your job, it's not your identity. It's just a little fraction of you. It's only a little fraction of your life, because you never know if you're even going to continue with the same career that you started on. And there's cycles to life. And I feel like your spirit guides are going to give you this opportunity to take a little pause away from this identity, as a doctor or a lawyer or an artist. Even if you're a musician, I feel like maybe a lot of people almost go into the overdrive of like, I am a musician before I'm anything else. Whereas in reality, we're a cocktail of things. We are a combination of things. And again, I'm not, no shade thrown here. This is like, I really relate to pile 5. So, a tendency to assign a role to yourself and obsess over the career, rather than only seeing it as little part of you. So I feel like your spirit guides are saying the next blessing that's coming in is an opportunity to have some rest, an opportunity to switch off from your career, an opportunity to reassess what direction you want to go in, even with your career. Maybe you have an idea of what you want to achieve in your job right now, in your career, or what like direction you want to take. But if you take this little pause, this little break, your mind might even change slightly. You might decide you want to do something else. And I feel like your spirit guides are wanting you to agree to, they're like, don't resist changes. Don't resist the natural flow of things. If you had a plan to become a certain, like, let's say again, I don't know why I'm going back to the lawyer, but it's like, if you've had a plan to become a lawyer for the last 3 years, but all of a sudden you decide that you want to do something else, really assess why that change of heart is coming into your life. Don't dismiss it. Again, you don't have to take it up straight away either, but do assess why that came in. So that is something that's coming through for pile number 5. Definitely a blessing of rest, a blessing of healing, and a blessing of stepping away from your career or your job for a little while, so that you can have a little rest and rethink of what's next for you. So that's the reading that I got for you, pile number 5. If you enjoyed this reading, do like, subscribe, and comment with your feedback. Now, don't forget to go to SayaLoveTarot's reading for your love blessings, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.